Today's the day. Here it is, another opportunity. I am so grateful to be here talking to you a little bit about numbers. Know your numbers, realtors. I am in the DFW area here and have the opportunity on a regular basis to talk to real estate agents, wannabes, agents, top producers who are in the business now. And it's amazing to me how few people really know what their numbers are. And I'm talking more about prospecting than anything else because I'm the coach. And people ask me, how am I going to make a lot of money in real estate? And I say every single day, you need to talk to a lot of people. So do you know your numbers? I put this out there for a reason. And most people, if you're going to prospect for an hour, if they'll come back and they'll say, how many calls you make? And they'll say 8 to 10. In the scheme of prospecting, that's pretty low. They come back, hey, 12 to 15, that's probably about medium. And then if you're getting, up over 15, 20 people in the course of an hour, you're really doing well. But most agents don't. Most people make a few calls and they quit, right? So I want you to really know your numbers. And when you know how many people that you have to talk to really get a bona fide lead. And when I'm talking about, having conversations with people and turning that into a lead is somebody that's going to buy or list their home. That's what I'm really focused on right now is inventory and listings. Somebody that's going to list their home in the next 90 days. So you have the opportunity, chat with them on the phone. It may be somebody in your sphere, maybe, folks that you met from the previous weekend's open house. You may just be calling random people, down a street around the property that just sold. Different lists of people that you're calling, those ratios may be a little bit different. For example, there is a phenomena in real estate. When one property sells on a street, there's usually 2 or 3 other people that are thinking about listing their home. They go, wow, I can't believe that Jones has got that much for their home. So what we tell agents to do and what I'm recommending for you to do is to just call down the street and say, hey, did you know that the Jones's house sold? And it sold in 4 days and it sold over asking price, whatever the stats are. But it's a reason for you to call them and get into the conversation. Hey, do you know anybody else that may be thinking about selling? Get the no out of the way. They'll all tell you no right off the bat if they don't know you. They're just going to try to get you off the phone. And when they say no, you say, well, the reason that I asked, I thought, how about you? Is there some crazy number that would ever cause you to sell? It's an easy conversation to have. And the next thing you know, they're talking to you about the value of their home. So when you're calling down a street, it may take 50 calls to get one person to really say, yeah, we've been thinking about selling. And that's fine. You know that number. If I'm calling on, let's say, expireds, properties that have failed to sell on the market, and I'm just telling you here in DFW, in one of the hottest markets ever, between expireds and canceleds in the first 8 months of this year, there's over 10,000 properties that failed to sell. Either people put them at the wrong price, unrealistic, whatever it is. But these are people who wanted to sell their home. So for those folks, I may only need to talk to 10 to get somebody who's interested in having me come over and talk to them about listing their home. So again, knowing those numbers. When I'm calling my sphere, it's a different, ratio. So that's the first thing. You got to pick up the phone, you got to call some folks, and then track how many calls that you have to make to talk to somebody that's a bona fide lead, somebody who is interested in listing their home in the next 90 days. Then from there, it gets a little bit easier. You get X amount of leads. Can you turn those leads into an appointment, right? So you got somebody that's nibbling a little bit, and will they let you come over to their house and do a presentation, talk to them about listing the home? And I talk to agents about this all the time. They don't go on enough presentations to have a really great presentation. Well, you want to know how to fix that? Go on a lot of appointments. You'll meet with folks and present to them. And then I have the ability as a coach to talk to you about those ratios. So if you're going on 5 appointments and maybe you only win 1 listing opportunity, I may question what you're saying to those folks. What are you presenting to those folks? And we can coach to that. But I don't know it unless you're tracking those numbers. So, hey, I got a nibble here. Can I turn that into an appointment that will let me come over to their house and talk to them about listing their home? And then the same thing is true to that. If you're going on a lot of appointments, so, the goal is to, have one appointment a day, 5 days a week. Wow, that's a lot, Frank. How am I ever going to get there? Well, I know my numbers. I know how many people I need to talk to get a nibble. And then from those nibbles, I know how many people I need to talk to turn that into an appointment. And then from those appointments, how many, will turn into a listing opportunity. But if I am going on those 5 appointments a week, I'm telling you, probably 80% of them are nuts. They just unrealistic numbers. They won't work with you on your terms, your condition. You just, bye. I don't need you. But if you got 1 out of 5, you got 1 listing a week based on going on those 5 appointments. Oh my gosh. Our average here in this marketplace is about $12,000, gross commission, on a transaction. If you had 50 listings, that's over $600,000 of gross commission income. And I know there's costs and there are expenses and you pay taxes, all that, but that is still an amazing amount of money. And that's just from 1 hour, 2 hours of prospecting in the course of a day, setting up that 1 appointment a day, right? Going out, doing those presentations, and out of 5, losing 4 of them and just converting 1 into a listing. And trust me, all of those numbers can be coached to and improved, but I'm giving you some crazy, I'm not a great salesperson, but I'm just putting in the hours, I'm putting in the time, I'm putting in the effort, and you will still make a boatload of money. Here's the deal. If you had those, 50 listings in the course of a year, I guarantee you will double some of those listings. That's double, you'll pick up the buyer will call you directly. You'll have the opportunity to work, both sides of that transaction. In addition to that, you're going to have other folks on the street who are seeing what you're doing and the great way you're marketing those properties. And you're going to get other people just call you up because of all the signs you're putting up. So it absolutely works. But the secret is, guys, to know your numbers. Know that so you don't get discouraged. How many people do I need to call? How many people do I need to talk to in order to get an opportunity? And I have folks say to me all the time, hey, there's not enough expireds for that to work, Frank. Well, I ran the numbers. I already said it in this call today. In Dallas, Fort Worth, in the first 8 months of this year, there's over 10,000 canceled and expired properties. And so if you break that down on a daily basis, that's 40 expireds. I'm saying, well, how many people do you have to call to have one person invite you over to get 1, appointment? The numbers work. You may need to call 4 or 5 in the course of the day to get one person to say, yeah, come on. I want to sell my house. That's what I love about expireds. They've already signed an agreement and want to sell their house. The other ones, equally as many people out there, is the for sale by owners, especially during this hot market that we had where houses were selling up. People thought they could do it themselves. And we know those deals blow up. So you got all these for sale by owners. That's another person who has a sign in the front yard that says, I want to sell my home. So how many of those do you have to call? They may be a little bit different. The call-arounds, that phenomenon I talked about. There are so many people that you could call, even if you were an alien, you have nobody in Texas, I have no relationships. You could come into this market, and if you were willing to put in the hours, make the calls, be coachable, right? Listen, and hey, this is what I need to do. You really can make a lot of money. But most people get busy and then they stop doing what got them busy, and that was prospecting. Real estate coach Frank, Coldwell Banker Realty. I want to help you. Reach out to me. absolutely follow me on YouTube. I'm so excited. We're up over 1,000 subscribers. So, make sure you subscribe, set the alert, and then watch for me on any of the social media platforms. Reach out via text message direct to my cell phone. Am I crazy? I want to talk to you. I want to help you. And I just hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless you. Bye, guys. That's a wrap.